Hey guys, Coach Steven here with another strength game for us to play at home. This one is based off of a popular board game, and I've decided to call it Sorry About This Strength. All right, so the way it's going to work is every different number corresponds to a chance to earn or a need to avoid losing points. And then we have different rules with each card for which strength you're going to do. So I'm going to go over all those real quick. So for number 1 here, you have to do a minute handstand against a wall. And you do that to avoid losing a point. If you don't do the minute handstand against the wall, you lose a point. All right. Now, depending on your level, you may make this a 30 or 45-second handstand if everybody in your home is much lower level gymnast. But for the team kids, it's got to be that full minute one. This can be back against the wall or stomach to the wall. I like to do stomach to the wall, so I walk my feet up and then hold 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Make sure you have safe room to get down from that handstand. Always make sure you have a lot of room not to kick stuff when you're doing those handstands, all right? So next, I'm going to move on to the number 2. We are still going to follow some of the rules of the cards here. So for a 2, all right, you have to do 2 successful cartwheels to get a point. So this time we're trying to earn a point instead of trying to avoid losing one. A successful cartwheel is different depending on your level. If you're a team kid, it should be 2 cartwheels on a straight line. But for some kids, it might just be 2 cartwheels that land on your feet. All right, and if you can do that successfully, you'll get a point. And like the card says, I'll show you one more time. At the bottom there, you get to draw again as well. So you actually have a chance to earn multiple points that turn. So 2s are a pretty lucky card. All right, so I'll do my 2 successful cartwheels here. Went ahead and did one on each leg. It's always important to work your bad leg on cartwheels as well, just for the body awareness and control that it's going to give you. All right, next, we've got our 3s. Okay, and 3 is going to be 3 sets of 10 sit-ups, and you're doing that to avoid losing a point. So you can either choose to do 3 sets of 10 sit-ups, or you can take a negative point. All right, so I'm going to do my 30 sit-ups here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What 3 sets of 10 means is every time I do 10, I can take a little break until I've done it 3 times. So I do 30 total. If you want to just do 30 in a row, that's fine as well too. If you want to do 2 sets of 15, equals the same number. Just 3 sets of 10 gets my number 3 in there. So I kind of be trying to be creative there. All right, second set. 1, 2, 3. Then I've got one more set. I'll go ahead and do it. All right. So that covers the 3. Now, the next one is 4, and it's another pretty easy way to earn points. So as you see, it says move backward 4. We're going to follow that idea somewhat, and we're going to do 4 jumps backwards to stick. So depending on your level, this could be a harder jump backward. You could have a further distance that you're required to jump backwards for it to count, or you could even require yourself to do a skill backwards. All right, but in most basic terms, it's just jumping backwards to stick. 4 times like that will earn you 1 point. So 4 is a pretty good card to get. Not too difficult to get a point. I can make it a little more complicated with a tuck jump, or I could try something like a pike jump, Woo. Or even something really tricky like a full turn. Woo. Trying to challenge myself there. All right. Next one is 5. So we've got this one here. It's just a simple basic move forward 5. So what we're going to do for 5 is we're going to do 5 jumping lunge switches. All right. So what you're going to do is hands on your hips. And you're going to go down to one knee and jump and switch. That's 1 because you have 1 on each leg. And 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. All right. Not too bad. A way to avoid losing 1 point there. All right. There are no 6s in this game, so we jump on to 7s. All right. And you can see the 7 right here. Says you can move forward 7 or split between 2 pawns. So in that vein, I didn't think we could come up with a way to really split it. So you're going to have 2 options. You can do 7 sets of 10 arch rocks, or you can spend a minute in a split. So there, we're splitting it. So you have 2 different options. Each one will take about a minute to do. Okay, so you can do 7 sets of 10 or 70 total arch rocks. Ten. That's 1 set. 10. 2 sets. 10. There's 3 sets. 10. 4 sets. 3 to go. 10. 5 sets. 10. Whew, that's 6 sets. 1 more. 10. That's 7 sets. So that is what I do to avoid losing 1 point there. All the odd numbers are to avoid losing a point. All the even numbers are to get a point. The other option I could do is to do my worst split out of right, left, and middle. My worst is middle, so I'll do a minute long. I can do a minute long middle split. 10. 20. 30. 40. 50, 60. All right, now I'm going to move on to the number 8. So once again, this one is going to be to earn points. All right, so here's the 8. It says move forward 8. You're going to do either 8 frog jumps. Well, or sorry, it's a combination one. Because 8 frog jumps is a little too easy to earn that point. So we're going to do 8 frog jumps followed immediately by 8 squats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Making sure you're getting that deep squat to earn your points there. Now, just like there's no 6s in this game, there's no 9s in this game either. All right. So I could jump right on to 10. So 10 has 2 options, move forward 10 or move backward 1 on the card there. So instead of that, we're going to do 10 sets of 10 heel raises, or you can move backwards by laying on your back and doing a 1-minute tight arch hold. So I can do my 10 sets of 10 heel raises. 10, that's 1. 10, that's 2. 10, that's 3. Making sure I'm going all the way up on my tippy toes for this. That's 4. Don't go halfway up and don't just bounce. All the way to tip toes and down. 10, that's 5, halfway done. 6. 10, that's 7. 10, that's 8. 2 more sets. 10, that's 9. Last 10. 10. Okay, or the other option is a 1-minute tight arch hold. All right, now to get your point on this, you have to do a minute straight. If you're a lower level, I'd take like maybe 45 seconds. Don't cut it all the way to 30. It'll be too easy. All right, so it's laying flat on the back, arms over the head, and then your goal is to just lift your bottom off the ground, nothing else. And then you can't let your bottom touch the whole time. 10. 20. 30. Whew, this is hard to do right after those heel raises because I'm trying to push down from my heels and it hurts. 40. Try to keep good form while you do this. Feet together, legs straight, toes pointed, arms straight overhead, knees straight. 50. 60. Whew. Stretch my calves out a little bit for a second. All right, we just got 3 cards left. So now we go to the 11. So this one is move forward 11 spaces or switch places with an opponent. So the way we're doing that is you're going to either do 11 V-ups to avoid losing a point. So a pretty easy way to avoid losing a point. Or you can trade this card. It's kind of luck of the draw here, though. You're trading this card with the next person in line. All right, so you don't get to see the card the next person has first. You just take the next card off the top of the pile and use that one instead, and give this 11 to them. So they have to do the 11 V-ups to avoid losing a point. So the downside is you could get something more difficult to do to avoid losing a point, but the upside is you could get a card where you can earn a point instead of having to just avoid losing a point. All right, so here's doing the 11 V-up. So V-up, lay down flat, go up and touch my toes. 1, 9, 10, 11. Not that bad of a way to avoid losing a point, so definitely worth doing if you don't want to risk it, but might be worth it to risk it if you're losing to try to get that extra point. All right, and 12. This is move forward 12 is all it is, so we're going to do 12 push-ups to avoid losing a point. These have to be 12 push-ups with no rest. Depending on your level, you may do them on your knees, that's okay. But you gotta do 12 push-ups to avoid losing a point without stopping. All right, so here I go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. Make sure you touch your chin to the floor on each push-up. And then finally, we go to the last card, which is sorry. So this card is going to be running with high knees non-stop for 1 minute. All right, so you got to get knees up towards your chest for 1 minute without resting. If you can do that, you get to take a point from someone else. So that means you get 1 more point, they get 1 point taken away. To answer your question, yes, people can have negative points in this game. So someone could have less than 0. You could have -1, -2. All right, so you can take a point from anybody and give it to yourself towards winning the game. All right, so I'll go ahead and do that 1 minute high knees for the sorry card. 10. 20. Remember, you have to do this non-stop. No rest, or you don't get to trade the point. 30. 40. 50. 60. Whew. So that goes over all the different cards in the game. So the rules, besides what we just went over for how you gain and lose a point, you need 4 of each card, because there's 4 of every card in this deck. With that being said, if you don't have the game at home with the proper cards, then you can just use a set of cards. There's a regular deck of playing cards. Just count 1s as aces, or sorry, aces as 1s. Count jacks as 11, queens as 12s, kings as sorry cards, and then take out the 6s and the 9s from that playing card deck. So that way you don't get confused since there's no 6s or 9s in the game. Take turns drawing cards with everybody playing the game one at a time. You draw the top card off the deck and perform the task on the card to either earn or avoid losing a point, as we were explaining. Yes, you can have a negative number of points, is rule number 3. I already went over that. And then the last part we didn't go over yet is you need 10 points to win the game. So you got to keep playing until someone gets to 10. Or you can play where everybody keeps playing until they earn 10 points. Don't even necessarily have to play against each other so much as just playing for everybody to try to achieve that goal of 10 points earned. All right, so here is the rules. You guys can pause that so that you can get a good view of it. And yeah, there we go. And hopefully see that okay and read that okay. All right. So that is the game that we're playing for our strength for this Thursday. Hope you guys are doing great out there. We're getting closer and closer to being allowed to reopen, so we're looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Ask your parents before posting your scores from Sorry About Strength online or posting who won each game in your house. All right. Have an awesome one. We'll see you guys next week.